It's Star Wars The Force Awakens time. Go BB-8. Hi, I'm Aaron Jones and welcome to another vlog coming to you from Nihama in Japan. And today I wanted to talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm going to give my review. And this video does contain spoilers because there's no way to talk about it without talking about spoilers. Now, the movie's been out almost a month. Well, just almost a month since it's released. I have seen it 2 times. I saw it on January 1st, and I saw it yesterday for a second time, January 6th. Yesterday's January 6th. Yeah, so it's a great movie, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on this movie. So, let's go. Okay, I first saw this movie when I went to see it on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2016. I went to see it in 4DX. And what 4DX is movie theater where the seat moves and it shoots water at your face, and it's in 3D. And though this was interesting and a neat experience, it really did draw me out of the movie. And I did miss a lot of things that were in the movie. So I went back to see the movie yesterday, and I did miss a lot because when I was watching all the review videos that I watched before seeing that I didn't want to watch until I saw the movie because they gave away spoilers, I went back and watched those, and they were talking about things I didn't really notice. For example, at the beginning of the episode, Kylo Ren stops the laser beam, and because the seat was moving and in 3D and it was a little bit dark, didn't really pick up that he stopped the Poe's blaster's beam in mid-air. Just didn't pick that up the first time I saw it in that 4DX. So 4DX may be something to see a second time for the experience, but for the first time, maybe just regular 3D or 2D. I went and saw it 2D, and I picked up a lot of things, and then I don't really like 3D because it takes a while for my eyes to adjust to the 3D, and that's probably the problem why I didn't pick up stuff at the beginning of the movie, because my eyes were still adjusting, and then I couldn't focus straight because the seat's moving like this, and so every time everything's blurry and smoke. Anyways, so let's get into talking about the movie. Okay, first I want to talk about the marketing of this movie, because I think J.J. Abrams, or whoever was in charge of the marketing of this movie, was a genius. Because every time a trailer came out, a teaser, a new poster, what did everybody say? Where's Luke? Where's Luke? And you go to see the movie, and the first thing that you see when the scroll Star Wars comes out, Star Wars, and the scroll comes up, Luke Skywalker has vanished. And so without really promoting it, we knew the kind of MacGuffin, the thing that gets the movie going is, where is Luke Skywalker? And everybody was doing that before the movie came out, watching the trailers. Where's Luke? Where's Luke? And we were already programmed for what the movie was about, what the people's motivation were in the movie. And I think that was genius. And yes, Luke only appears, a big spoiler, again, this has got spoilers in it, Luke only appears at the end of the movie. But very, very, very clever, I think, because everybody was just wondering what is with no Luke in any of the promotional materials and figures, and that's why. And I thought that was a little genius on the marketing team for doing that, because if they did put Luke on the posters and stuff, we would say Luke wasn't in it very much, but in this case we were all going, where's Luke? Where's Luke? And that was like the story of the movie. Where is Luke Skywalker? We have to find Luke Skywalker. The rebellion is trying to find Luke Skywalker. Everybody's looking for, Kylo Ren is looking for Luke Skywalker. And I thought that was very smart. So next, I want to talk about the scenes of the movie that were emotional for me. Being a grown 40-year-old, almost 41-year-old man, and the crying, almost crying, welling up at a movie, especially Star Wars movie, was a new experience for me. But J.J. Abrams knew how to push the button of old Star Wars fans, and he did it well. And the first viewing, there were a few scenes where I welled up, and then when I saw it the second time, a little bit different experience. I'll talk about that first. First, in the first time I saw the movie, when I really started feeling emotion, the first is when the Millennium Falcon is first revealed. Ren and Finn and BB-8 are running after the the First Order is attacking the little sand village on Juku, and they're going towards this quadrumper, and then Finn says, hey, what about that ship? And Rey says, oh, that's a piece of garbage. And then the quadrumper blows up, and then she goes like, that the garbage will do, and it turns over, and then there is the Millennium Falcon with the Star Wars music in the background, and that was just like awesome. And not only that, just it appearing there was like, huh? Why is that there? And I was like, that was a good introduction to that movie, and I felt emotional to see that vehicle, that spaceship, that Millennium Falcon again, because that is classic Star Wars. So the second scene that really got emotional for me was at Kaz's little bar scene after the First Order attacked it, and the Reliance, not the Reliance, or not the Rebellion, the Resistance came back and attacked it, and then the First Order left, Kylo Ren left, and the spaceship lands, and out comes Leia and Han Solo's first meeting. And that was really emotional for me, because the music, it was just really good. Now, I was a little bit touched also with Han Solo and Chewie coming on to the Millennium Falcon, but we had seen that scene in the commercials and trailers, so it wasn't so much a surprise when they were sucked into the freighter. I kind of figured out this is where Luke and Chewie was on, so when they came on board, I wasn't that surprised and emotional, because I had already been spoiled by the commercials, and I expected them to walk on board during that scene. But the Leia and Han Solo was very powerful, and I kind of welled up, and it's like, this is really good. And J.J. Abrams, you're an evil, evil man for making grown men geeks cry. Anyways, that was good. The next scene that really did it, of course, was the another major spoiler, when Han Solo was killed by Kylo Ren, his son Ben, and he fell off, and then Chewbacca's reaction, going nuts and shooting Kylo Ren and just going crazy. And then later, after the big battle, and there's another scene of Chewie, Leia's also mourning, and Chewie sitting with his hand on his head, kind of thing. And I thought that was really touching. They didn't really do a lot about Han's death after he died in the movie, probably because of pacing of the movie at the end to not slow things down. But there was a little bit of a few second scene where Leia was kind of mourning, and Chewbacca was sitting in mourning, and I thought that was really touching. And the last major one that really, really affected me when I saw it the first time was when Kylo Ren and Rey were fighting with the lightsaber, or before the lightsabers, when he was trying to get Anakin's and first lightsaber from the snow, and it flies by, and Rey catches it. I mean, watching other reviews, I mean, this is something that all Star Wars geeks welled up as. She got it, and the Star Wars music plays, and it was a phenomenal scene, and I welled up. And the Luke Skywalker scene was cool, but I didn't well up. I did on the second time, because now I knew it was coming, and I kind of understood the significance of the scene more. And when I saw it the second time, I welled up during the scene where Luke Skywalker was standing on top of that little mountain on the island in there when Rey came up and whatever she said, this is yours or something. And I thought that the second time, that was a stronger emotion for me. So those are kind of my emotional thoughts why I really enjoyed the film on those aspects. Now I want to talk a little bit about some of the characters, what I thought about them. I thought Harrison Ford did a great job as Han Solo. He was completely Han Solo, Chewbacca together. It was great, and I think he did a great job. And probably his last time, maybe his last time, who knows, if they do flashbacks or something in the next episode 8. But I thought he did a fantastic job. He was completely Harrison Ford. He didn't phone it in. He did a great job, and I really enjoyed his character. Finn, I liked. I enjoyed Finn. Something about Finn I didn't like. He was maybe, I guess, figuring out they were being taken as children and growing up as being trained to be stormtroopers. He was a little bit too much on modern lingo and stuff, like the way he talked. I thought it was a little bit more normal people. Yes, he's not a clone, they're normal people, but being regimented in this kind of thing growing up, that he would have this kind of modern dialogue just didn't quite fit with him being a stormtrooper, but I did enjoy his character, and I did enjoy his chemistry with Rey and the other characters in the movie. And I look forward to seeing the next events of him, what happens to him in Episode 8, because his spine was hit by Kylo Ren, and will he have some kind of machine, or can they restore him? So I'm interested to see the development of his character and where his character will go next in the Episode 8. The next character I want to talk about, of course, is Rey. She's the star of the movie. She did that great character, and I'm interested to see what her relationship is. There's a lot of rumors filled around, if you've followed anything, about who are her parents. Is it Luke Skywalker? I don't think it's Leia and Hans, because that would have been put out in the movie already because she was there. But I think Han Solo knows, because when he's talking with Maz, he asks her, what about who is the girl? And then they cut away from that. And maybe Leia also knows, and because she asks who the girl is, and then she follows her down, and then when Rey opens up the Obi-Wan Kenobi's box and reaches in, and there's the star, touches the lightsaber, and he has her flashback. But I really liked her character. I think she did a great job, and I'm really interested in this character and how she's going to become with the Force in the next episode, and her relationship with Luke, and who is she. And I think this mystery, J.J. Abrams mystery box, I'm waiting for to see what's inside. Let's see, Leia. I thought Leia was good. I mean, she wasn't overused, and she did a good job. Carrie Fisher did a great job again, and I enjoyed her portrayal as Leia and looking for Luke. And I can't say much. She was Princess Leia, or General Leia in this one, and I really enjoyed what she was doing. I was worried how they were going to use her, but they did well with her, and I really enjoyed her performance. Poe Dameron was great. I really enjoyed this character. He wasn't in the movie much, because I think they're saving him for the next movie because of Harrison Ford. Maybe he'll replace that, but I really, really enjoyed. And again, when I saw the 40X version, when they are fighting at Kaz's to defend after Kaz's little bar was destroyed, and he flies around and he shoots all different ground stormtroopers and TIE fighters, and so like one shot. In the 40X, I didn't realize, or couldn't see clearly what was going on, but when I saw it in 2D, I really saw that scene, and I really enjoyed that scene, and I enjoy his character, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the future. BB-8 was great. Really enjoyed his character more than I thought I would. I thought he wouldn't be such a strong thing. Yes, it's very much similar to Episode 4, but his character was great. I really enjoyed BB-8, and very cute and well done robot. And I was worried, because I really like R2-D2 and 3CPO, and I was worried that they were going to kind of overtake them, but it's almost like they're going to come into a threesome kind of threesome, into a kind of a threesome in continuing in the series, and I think I like that. Right now, at the end of the movie, R2-D2 and Chewbacca and Rey are with Luke Skywalker, and back at the Resistance base is C-3PO and BB-8. So we'll see how their relationships with other robots, droids, continues in the next episode. Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren being the grandson of Darth Vader, going through the Leia's side, and I liked his character a lot. I worry about the villains, other Siths, because in Episode 1, yes, Darth Maul looked cool, but he didn't do anything, and he was kind of lying. You know, Darth Vader is just very, very strong, and I love Darth Vader, but other kind of Sith characters in the other Episode 1 and 2, they didn't come out as being in the same universe for me and strong, but Kylo Ren I thought was good in his relationship with his father Han and with General Snoke, and I really, really enjoyed his character. I liked his temper tantrums, and I think, I don't know if this is me, but maybe because the Episode 1, 2, and 3 with Anakin Skywalker was not... I'm not a big fan of the prequels, you can probably understand that. But I think when J.J. Abrams, when they wrote this, they wanted to kind of do that Anakin Skywalker type becoming to the dark side, and they did it with him, and they did a better job in this movie than all three films with Anakin Skywalker. I mean, you understand things there's stuff we don't know about Snoke, and how that ties in. But we get to see his emotional struggle in kind of a real way. And he does have tantrums. He's young. He's a little bit arrogant because he hasn't really been, I don't think he's really been challenged by other Jedi other than Luke. And we don't know what happened when Kylo Ren and I guess, betrayed Luke Skywalker. Did he have to battle any other people? And I think he's been kind of by himself this whole time, and so he has never been challenged. And so when he does get challenged by Rey, and he gets challenged, he doesn't know how to deal with it because he hasn't been challenged. And this is why a lot of people say, why Rey at the end of the battle? I mean, when she's fighting him at the end of the movie, why she gets so good? Well, most of the time she's running away. If you watch it, she's running away, and then when she kind of calms down and gets the Force, she does attack a little bit. But I don't think Kylo Ren has ever been challenged in a real way. And so for him, that's why she can overpower him. He may be very powerful, but he has never been challenged. And that's really evident when he's trying to read her mind and she kind of fights back. He hasn't been challenged, and this is why she can overpower him. This is my theory anyways, and we'll find out probably more in Episode 8. Now, there's stuff to talk about General Snoke, but we don't know much about him because we only saw a giant hologram thing of him, and so who is he? Who knows? There's a lot of rumors on the internet, but I'm waiting for Episode 8, and maybe we'll find out. Some things I didn't like about it, well, yeah, it is very similar to Episode 4. It's also to A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, but in this case, I think Disney was playing it safe, and it feels like a Star Wars movie. It feels like a continuation from the original series, where for me, the prequels don't feel like the same universe. There was just something about it. Maybe it was when I was young, we're always waiting for the prequels to come out, and I had this image of, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker having adventures, and instead we got a bunch of weird stuff, and they talk about their adventures, but I wanted to see their adventures and kind of as grown men, and it wasn't what I had imaged, and it disappointed a lot of original fans, as many people do. There are a lot of people who do like the prequels, and if you like the prequels, that's good for you. For me, it doesn't mesh in the same universe for some reason. It just disconnects me. When I went to see, I saw Episode 1 2 times in the movie theater. I saw Episode once in the movie theater in Japan. And Episode 3, I didn't even go and see it because I just didn't have any energy. And it was just too much for me it didn't feel like Star Wars for me. And I watched it on DVD. I've only seen it once, and no interest, but I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I mean, it's a fun ride. I mean, there was other problems in the movie, but it was fun. The pacing was really good. There wasn't any slow parts. And yeah, Starkiller Base, it was like the Death Star, but it really played in the background of the story. Yes, they go there, and then there's a little bit of fighting there, but it's mostly inside on the planet itself, where we have the two main things where Han Solo confronts Kylo Ren, and then Rey and Finn fighting Kylo Ren. And this is kind of the thing that's going on while they're fighting in the background, trying to destroy this Starkiller Base, where in Episode 4, The New Hope, the Death Star is there, and that's the main focus of the end, that the whole scene is trying to shoot into the exhaust port. Here, they have this weakness that they discovered kind of by accident or from getting information from Finn, and they figure out how they can disable the weapon. But it's really in the background. They're not really focusing on this kind of running in and destroying it. It was kind of what was going on while we deal with Han and Rey and Finn. And I really like that. And so it didn't bother me so much. And I did enjoy the pacing. And I think after this movie, when we get to Episode 8, it's going to take a different direction. It's not going to be similar to the other movies. It's going to be the same universe, but it's going to move on. This is very much a bridge, I think, where we have the old movie cast, and it's passing on to the new movie cast and giving a kind of a flow, a bridge to the new one, and introducing new fans with the feeling of the original Star Wars, which I think it did, and it was good. And but we're going to see, because it did feel for me very much Star Warsy in the same universe. I'm interested to see how Rogue One comes out. It's going to be like. That's the anthology movie, the first one coming out next winter, I guess. And so I'm interested to see how that one's going to work, because we're going to have not really characters from any of the original episodes or characters we know, but it's going to be before New Hope, how they get the plans for the Death Star. I mean, it's possible Darth Vader or Boba Fett will appear because it takes place in that period, and so I'm interested in see how this movie is going to go. Looking forward to that. And of course, episode 8 and 9. I do want to go and see episode 8 now. I mean, everybody has said it. If you watch on the internet, I felt the same way. After Luke, I want to get into the next episode. I want to see Luke. And I'm excited to see Luke. What does Luke do? How does he overcome his emotion at the end of the movie? You can see that he's fighting himself. I mean, he did that in Empire Strikes Back. He when he's fighting Darth Vader, he did that in the end of Return of the Jedi. And here, he had this thing where his student, probably it's Ben Solo, so right, Kylo Ren, and he's betrayed. He was betrayed, and he feels responsible. Now he's isolated himself on probably the first Jedi temple, and I'm going to be interested to see what he does and how he deals with his emotions. When Rey shows there, you can see Mark Hamill did a great job. Emotions. It's almost, I felt almost like he didn't want to come back, and she's passing him the lightsaber, and he sees that he has to come back, and he's conflicted by this. And does he know who Rey is or not? Is it his daughter? And that's a different story, but his own personal conflict with, now he has to come back and maybe deal with some things that maybe he's a little bit responsible for, but we don't know exactly what happened with the Knights of Ren and when Ren betrayed him. So maybe we'll find out more about that. But I'm interested into the conflict of Luke Skywalker and how he's going to overcome this in the next episode. So I've rambled about this movie so much. I hope you enjoyed the movie as much as I did. I feel regenerated as a Star Wars fan because, as I mentioned, I didn't really get into the prequels. For me, they don't feel like the same universe for me, but this movie did. It really it pushed the right buttons. J.J. Abrams knew how to push the right buttons, and he had great characters and the main character. And if you want to know why I don't like the prequels, go and watch the Plinkett reviews, because they're long and they're not everyone's taste, but they sum up why the problem is of those movies. And for me, I can now, in my mind, put away the prequels and enjoy the original series plus what's coming up here. Because for me, the continuation feels that it's there, where I didn't feel that with the prequels. I just felt it was blah. I'm interested in seeing if they do bring Ewan McGregor back for the next episode. They did use his voice in this movie. They called him in for a voice recording for Rey's little flashback thing that she had. And because I did enjoy him, and I think he can do a good Obi-Wan Kenobi when he's going to have a good script and good thing. And I think the problem with him as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels is everything was blue screen, and I think that was just very difficult for the actors, and where J.J. Abrams was using practical sets. So I'm interested in seeing how this works, if they're going to use a flashback or a force ghost. But a force ghost should be Alec Guinness, but unfortunately he passed away, so they cannot do that. So in this case, I could accept Ewan McGregor as a force ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi, because Alec Guinness has passed on and cannot do it anymore. But anyways, that's enough for today. What did you think about Star Wars? Let me know. A Force Awakens down in the comments below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Usually they're not so long and passionate, but today that's what I wanted to talk about. And stay tuned for other videos. I'm going back to doing my applications and production stuff very, very soon. I have a new episode of Stuff I Bought coming out in the next couple of days. And so stay tuned for that. And thank you to all the new subscribers again. And until next time, we'll see you then. May the Force be with you.